video, I'm going to show you how to make these big gingerbread cookies in Christmas sweaters. So stay tuned and I'll show you how. Here are the things that I'm going to use. An almost 6-inch tall gingerbread cookie cutter, and I found that at Michael's. I'm going to be using black, red, leaf green, and brown food coloring, all by Wilton, and of course some white roll icing. Alright guys, let's get started. Alright guys, to get started I have here a little bit over a 2.5-inch round cookie cutter. And I'm going to, with my tool, scrape the inside of it to make this circle. This will give me a guideline to pipe my icing in there. And now I have an editable marker, and I'm going to just draw his little sweater going right underneath that scrape that I made. Going out for the sleeves. In here. So you see, this is just pretty easy. And then here where it flares out, just bring it right there, right across, and then this will be like the sleeve part, because we're going to do it in sections. So now I'm going to go ahead with my icing. Okay, so I have here my red in a tip 5, my green and my white in tips 1. And this is in a flooding to a little bit on the thicker side, but not too much, because I need that white and that green to sink in. So I'm gonna go and fill this in. So you saw I started in 1/2, and then I'll go with my next half. And the sleeves will be done later. Okay, I'll go ahead and smooth that out. I have to work really quickly because I made my icing a little bit on the thicker side. So as you see, it stays put really nicely. So now with my green, I'm going to make some lines right across, keeping them kind of tight, and put the white in between. The same thing. The icing seems to be sinking in pretty well, but I'm going to go over it in just a little bit. Okay, really quickly I'm just going to sink in whatever I see that hasn't sunk in properly. Okay, so now really quickly just go up and down with your tool, but very closely. When I sometimes do this, I give it some space, some room, so it makes the lines a little bit wider. But this one, I'm going to do them really close to each other. Gives it a little bit more of a sweater look. And as you see, I'm just barely going over the surface. I'm not scraping my cookie. I'm not going all the way down with my tool, touching the cookie, just lightly on the surface. Okay, that is it. And then go down the line here to push these down. And then you're going to give this some time to dry, just about half an hour or so, and then you can do the sleeves. So that's pretty much it. Alright, so I gave this some time to dry, just a few minutes, and I did one sleeve. I'm going to do the other one just to move the video along. So what I did is I switched my tip to a number 3 now, and I still have my white and my green in tips 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go in between those lines that I made. This is why I like to make lines, the way I can see where I need to fill in. Try to keep things even. So then just put this peak up here. Kind of make this more squarish here. Smooth it out a bit. Then go in with my green and my white. Same thing I did with the body part. Just across. Go in with my white. Up here. All right, and then go up and down again. Just slightly across the surface. You don't need to go in and all the way into the bottom. You don't need to scrape your cookie. And there you have it. So then I'm going to give this some time to dry. I would give it about a couple hours or more, or leave it overnight, and then we can move on to the rest of it. Alright, so I gave this some time to dry, so that's what it's going to look like. So now we can go ahead with the body. Alright, so I have my brown here in a tip 4. I'm going to start off with the head and then do the feet, do the hands last. And this is in a flooding consistency. This didn't come out as thick as I normally would want it, but I can still work with it. So just go ahead and fill it and smooth it out. Try to keep your icing inside that circle that you scraped off at the beginning. It comes in handy. That way you don't follow your cookie in case sometimes it bakes a little awkward. You don't follow that, and then it'll come out not perfectly round. So that's pretty much it. So now we can move on to the bottom part. Okay, same here. Just follow the legs down here. And as you see, I am not going directly straight to the edge because I didn't make my sweater go all the way to the edge, so I have to keep it flush with the end of the sweater. So I can't make his bottom larger than his top. Okay, so now for the hands, I am going to make a little bit of a thicker icing, because when you have really small pieces like this, either circles or half circles, they tend to sink in. I'll try to make this a little bit thicker. Sometimes even like that, they'll still get sunk in, but I have a better chance of it to have less of a sink if I thicken it up a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and thicken this up a little bit. Alright guys, so I have my thicker consistency, and I changed my tip from the 4 to a 2. That way it doesn't flow out too much and get too much of a thickness to the hand. And then I'm just going to head and smooth this out. It is thicker, so it'll take me a little bit longer to smooth it out, but I noticed that going up and down like this liquefies it a lot faster than having to go like this up. Okay, so I'm going to do the other one. Okay, so now I'm going to give this whole thing about 2 hours, probably just a little bit more. You can leave it overnight, will be best. That way when we go on here with the rest, since I'm using white, I want to make sure that that does not get absorbed or the brown get absorbed into that white. So I'm going to give this plenty of time to dry. Alright guys, I gave that some time to dry. So I have my black in a tip 1 and my red in a tip 1 as well. And I'm just going to make 2 little eyes. And smooth them out so they can dry nice and round. Make this one a little bit smaller. Okay, now with the same black, go and give it a nice little smile. And then give this about 2 or 3 minutes to dry a little bit before you go on with the cheeks. Okay, now with your red, I'll tip 1, a little bit thicker consistency. Just go ahead and make a little bowl. Same thing on the other side. This is pretty thick, so it's coming out really slow. And then just go ahead and smooth it out. Nice little bubble. Alright, so now I'm going to do the little borders of the sweater. I have my green in a medium consistency in a tip 0. And I'm just going to do some wiggly lines up and down. And here. And down here. And that's it. So that kind of brings the sweater, makes it come together. So this does like a little bit of a finishing touch to it. So now I can move on to the white. Alright, so now with this white in a tip 3, or you can use a tip 2 if you want your lines a little thinner. Just go up and down to make the little icing. The gingerbread man. And just bringing the peaks down the hands. So you can see this icing is in a pretty thick consistency. And that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna set this aside to dry, let it become nice and matte, and then that'll be it. Alright guys, so there you have your little gingerbread man in a little Christmas sweater. Perfect for the holidays. Dress them up all festive and everything. So I hope you like how he turned out. I think he's so cute in that little sweater. Alright guys, I thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe if you haven't done so. Stay tuned for more, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and happy holidays.